Hey everybody, this is the English version of my kind of like a little diary that I'm doing every day during quarantine. So, just want to remind everybody today's podcast was about how to end anxiety during quarantine days. All of us are going through this COVID-19, coronavirus out there, and how you guys are handling your quarantine, how you guys are handling staying at home, working from home. And one of the things that is coming up so much is this anxiety. Like we are getting this, this feeling and stress. And it's important to learn about the concerns that staying at home, isolation can generate in us, and how to avoid that. We are all experiencing all this pandemic and viruses, and it's a time where we need to stick together, work together, and have the compassion and the courage, be strong more than anything. But again, remember, you guys, feeling fear, it's normal. And you have to understand it's healthy during these days, because we are going through this anxiety. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, Sasa. Like what's gonna happen with my work? I haven't gotten fired, but I don't know if I'm gonna have a job anymore. Or like, how am I gonna pay my mortgage? How am I gonna pay my rent? How am I gonna pay my bills? I'm starting to have this fear. Don't blame yourself for anything like this. It's not your fault. I mean, it happens. Many people in the world are going through the same issue as you. I'm going through it in some way or the other. I'm self-employed. I own my businesses, and believe me, it's been really tough for me this past few weeks and past few days. But you cannot allow anxiety to paralyze your life and to wear you down and lock you down to where you can't get back up. And we ask ourselves, like, what is fear like in ourselves? And fear is an alert system that allows us to face real danger through the highest level of concentration in ourselves. So when you start to feel this fear and this anxiety in you, that's when you let the problem arise in you. So try not to become anxiety or thinking about coronavirus or COVID-19. Try to avoid that stuff. So here, I'm going to give you some tips, because if you want to listen to my podcast, everything I'm talking about, I mentioned this on the podcast. Look it up on Apple Podcasts, Sasa Podcast. Look for the title. It's called, I'm going to give you the title, How to End Anxiety During Quarantine Days. How to End Anxiety During Quarantine Days. That's the name of the podcast that we did today. So some of the tips that, there's 5 of them that I used. And if you want to go ahead and listen to all of them, go into my podcast. I'm going to put the link for you guys and finish it there. Right now, I'm going to share a few of them. I'm only going to do 2. The rest of them, you got to check it out on the podcast. So what I do, me personally, how do I handle anxiety during these times? Well, some of the techniques that I've been using is I take a deep breath. During the day, I take a break and I say, and let it go, man. Just think positive, man. Those are yoga techniques that they're gonna help you in some way. Oh, another one, thinking positive, man, consistently. Don't start thinking negative. Consistently stay positive. We're gonna get through this. Everyone's gonna get through this. You, me, the whole world. Okay. Thinking much about what's coming in your life, what happened. Get rid of everything in the past. Don't even think about what's going to happen, because we don't even know what's going to happen at this time. Start thinking about how to restart your life all over in some way or the other. Like if you own a business, how you're going to restructure your business. If you work for a company, think about some of the things you could do in the company to be safer, to do things differently that will help you. In those ways, bring some ideas, so when you come to work, you can bring those to your boss and kind of share with them. And I bet you they're gonna like them, because people like ideas. People like when we work together. Like, hey, and you can tell them, look, during these days, I was thinking about the job. I was thinking about the company. I was thinking about growing the business. And these are some of the things that will help us. And I guarantee you, myself as a business owner, if I have one of my employees come and tell me those things, I will listen, because I feel like they care for us. And they are looking for the best interest of us and everybody. Okay, so those are some of the things that, that I have helped myself and start thinking of how to do this stuff. I'm already starting to think of how to start a new company and things like that. So the first one that I wanted to share with you is more information does not have to mean more security. What I mean by that, more information does not have to mean more security. We're starting, we do this issue that we get on the TV and we start to watch the news. We change one channel, we change another, we go into the internet, we check it on our cell phone, we check it on our iPads, we Google this, we Google that, coronavirus, COVID-19, everything. That's all you do. Stop. Don't do that too much. You probably just as anybody in the world is doing the same thing, and that's where we start to get the anxiety. So if you only check the news maybe 1 or 2 or 3 minutes during the day and not 3 hours just watching news, listening to news, typing in, finding out and reading about the news, avoid this stuff. Avoid, all these thoughts that are coming through the news and the anxiety and the pressure that is bringing to you. So try to work with that. That's number 1. 2, keep the bedroom more like a sanctuary where it's free, like it's peaceful, man. Keep your bedroom like that's the place in the house where you want to come and relax and be peace in there. Rest your device, like put your cell phone on the side, put your iPad on the side. I know a lot of us, man, it's hard for us to leave the cell phone on the side, like we have to have it on our hand or on our phone or on our pocket. Anyways, but for a second, man, leave your phone on the side. Man, believe me, okay? No one's gonna check your cell phone. And if your partner wants to check your phone, you'd ask them, man, give me some respect right now. I want some time, I want some freeness. And I guarantee you, man, communication is good if you talk. So, sometimes leaving the cell phone on the side for a minute or 2 or for a little or for an hour or for whatever time you want, man, forgetting about life, that's what it does to you, man. It kind of brings your mind and it blanks. It reminds me so much when I go back home, when I go back to the motherland in Salvador. It's like I go back to nature and I start breathing all this fresh air and I start looking at all these trees and I start thinking I'm like in a different world, and I forget about the USA and I forget about everything that's going on in this city. It's kind of like recharging my battery. That's what you do in your bedroom. Get that rest, man, because you know what? Rest is important, and that's what they keep saying, how to battle this anxiety. And remember one thing. It brings inner peace in you, and it brings peace among everybody in your house. Take a deep breath like I told you, man. Breathe some air that is fresh. Go outside. Go around the garden. Go walk around. If you're in an apartment, go to the balcony, man. Just kind of look around. Give yourself that restart, that fresh. Do something that you do not always have to use your cell phone. Like, give it a break for a second. It's important that our brain associates your bedroom, your place of rest, with peace in you. That's the most important thing. 3, 4, and 5, check out our podcast. Like I said, I'm going to let you go because if you want to listen to 3, 4, and 5, you can listen to me live in the mornings, or you can go to Apple Podcasts and just check it out. Once again, I want to send, a lot of blessings to everybody in the world that's going through this. I know it's tough. To all my brothers and sisters all over the world, be strong. We're going to get this together, man. Blessings. Have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget, this is your boy Sasa over here doing this little diaries from my home. It hasn't been easy working from home, but you know what? I'm starting to get used to it already. Like I told you, it's a routine. It takes time. And once you start doing it consistently, it just becomes something normal. That's the way you got to see life. See life in a positive way. See life the best you can do, okay? Remember, it's a curveball. And you got to know how to give that curveball. You got to hit it, man. Don't give yourself up.